This video is going to be fun. It was fun for me because I got to buy a bunch of candy bars. I am doing a video on American retro candy bars. Now these are the type of candy bars you don't see as much at the grocery store. They're just not as popular as they once were, maybe 30, 40 years ago. I bought all these candy bars from Walgreens, a nationwide retailer. Walgreens has a large candy section, so they have things that are a little bit more unusual. And if you haven't seen my other channel, I talk about credit cards, and they just came out with this new Walgreens store card. So I use that today to make the purchase on these candies. I get a 5% rebate that I can use back in the store, and it makes sense. I pay the whole bill off, and then, you know, I get more free candy, you know, priorities. So the first candy bar I'm going to be talking about is the Munch Candy Bar. And they say that it is from the makers of Snickers bar. It used to be called the Munch Snickers Peanut Brittle Bar, and it was introduced in 1970s. So this is the first of old school candy bars. Then they decided to shorten it just to Munch. I've heard this bar be described as peanut brittle with more peanuts, which I always thought that peanut brittle had like not enough peanuts, and this one has more peanuts. And they also market this as a health food bar, which I would not. They do that because there's about 5 simple ingredients. There's not a lot of complicated things you can't pronounce. But I don't know, corn syrup doesn't sound healthy to me. Don't take my dietary advice, because that won't get you anywhere. But to them, this is a healthier option in the candy bar aisle. So they do say it's gluten-free, no artificial ingredients, lower glycemic index snack. Pure peanut goodness. That's what they say. And let's see if there is any goodness in this bar, because I don't think I've ever had it. I also thought this would be more like a Snicker bar without the chocolate. Since I don't think I've ever had this, I also imagined that it was a softer bar. No, it's not soft at all, which is interesting. So really, this is more or less peanut brittle. It's just more packed with peanuts, which I think I'll like this. So I'd actually say this is peanut brittle and just jam-packed with peanuts, which I prefer. That's just better tasting. The next one is pretty much one of my favorite candy bars, and I really wish it was more popular and, you know, have it in a snack size, you know, those type of Halloween sized candy bars. I'd love it, but they don't do that. And that's the whatchamacallit bar. And one thing I didn't know that existed, and I think it came out in 2006, 2008, I'll put the right year on the screen. They made a new version of it, called it the Who'sy What's It? Who'sy What's It? Yeah, I got that right, surprisingly. And I've never had this one, but I still think I'm gonna like this one better. But the reason why I'm gonna say I'm gonna like this one better is because it has caramel in it. Why I like this one is that it's got a nice combination of chocolate, Rice Crisps, caramel, and peanut butter. And all together, it's awesome. And from what I heard and what I'm reading off of the bar, it says chocolate, chocolatey crisps, and peanut butter candy bar. So this is gonna be more like peanut butter paste in there rather than caramel. This one I have never seen before, which I'm really shocked because I have a problem in the candy aisle of any grocery store. But the first time I saw it was at Walgreens. So here you can see that there's caramel that's on the very top layer. There's not really too much peanut butter that you can see from here, but like I said before, the 4 things that are in this candy bar together is just a really nice combination. So I don't really need to taste this one, I just need an excuse to taste it. I'm doing a video. So now it's time to try the Who's-It What's It bar. I do not see how I could possibly like it better than whatchamacallit. I could even smell the peanut butter before I broke it. But you can see that there's chocolate crisps, which I think is really cool. I might actually like this better than I thought I would. You can clearly see there's a strip of peanut butter rather than caramel. So this will be interesting. This is a little different than I thought it was going to be. I thought there was going to be really super concentrated peanut taste, but it's more chocolatey with definitely you'll taste the peanut butter, but I just thought there'd be more of a peanut butter presence. So that can make a decision for you whether, you know, what you're into, whether you like chocolate more or peanut butter. But this one surprised me. I might even buy it again. Okay, so if you like this video today, big favor, please hit that like button. And if you want to see any of my future videos, hit subscribe. So this one is Bit O' Honey. And I remember seeing this when I was growing up a lot. You get this box like this and these little candies. So it first came out in 1924. And they came up with different versions of this, including Bit O' Chocolate, which was discontinued, but then back in 2017 they reintroduced it, and then it was back to being discontinued. But this is the one that has been around since 1924. So they describe this one as real honey and almond bits blended into delicious taffy, and I think that's good because everything, like pretty much all the candy bars I'm showing you today, not that there's anything wrong with it, but they're pretty much all peanut based. This one is with almonds and it's supposed to have a honey almond taste. I know I've had this before. I have had it and I think that it's like decent enough. I mean, I got a whole box of this, I'll finish it. But I don't think I'm going to run out to get this again. But you know, it's a nice combination. It's something a little different than the typical thing you find in the candy aisle. Honey is one of the ingredients, along with a bunch of other stuff I can't pronounce. I recommend giving it a try. You might like it. Okay, so the next one is going to be Goobers. I remember when I was a kid, Goobers was pretty popular. There'd be TV commercials for it, and then later it just sort of fell out of favor. This one is basically chocolate covered peanuts. I don't remember if they do this now, but people would get these at the movie theater. So this candy bar was introduced in 1925 by the Blumenthal Company, and since then it's changed hands a number of times. Now it's owned by Ferraro, and this one I haven't had since a long time. So basically what they look like are Raisinets. I recommend giving it a try. You might like it. This harder to find candy bar, which is the Chunky Bar. And the Nestle Chunky Bar is something you don't see in the store a lot. In fact, I was at my Walgreens and I ran into somebody and then she was grabbing like not one chunky, like 10 chunky bars. And I go, oh my gosh, I haven't had this in a while. And she's like, yeah, you don't see them everywhere. I know that I go to Walgreens, I'm gonna find chunky. And if there's other places that you find these type of candy bars, leave that in the comment section. And I kind of go through this where I don't see it and I forget all about it. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot all about this. And then I go on a buying spree. So I don't know, I bought probably 5. I didn't go crazy, but Chunky is just one that I really like. And they've had different versions of this. They even at one time had a dark chocolate Chunky, which, why did you discontinue that? Another thing about this candy bar is that I love it. But my brother hates it because anything having to do with raisins, he's got like some sort of irrational phobia with raisins, like they're gonna attack him or something. I couldn't tell you. But they used to have an old Chunky, which was in a gold wrapper, and it had no raisins. I used to think that it was like peanuts and chocolate, and I said I don't really like peanuts and chocolate, but I learned through my research to do this video, it was actually chocolate and mixed nuts. So I kind of like that. Like if you have peanuts and then some other different nuts in it, and this sounds awesome. I wish they never discontinued it, but it's been gone a long time, and actually it's like an antique now. The wrapper is an antique. Here's a popular website for antiques, and you can see here, I didn't register or anything, but you can actually buy the wrapper only. So that's wild. That blows my mind. So if the Nestle company's watching, bring back this awesome candy bar. But Chunky just has always been like really cool. So there you have it, 6 different candy bars you either forgot about or didn't know about and that are worth trying. Thanks so much. Check these videos out here. And remember, if you like my videos, like, subscribe to see more. I'll see you next time.